Last Sunday at 6:30, well, it wasn't last Sunday, it was 20 years ago this happened, okay? This was 20 years ago. Right. Last Sunday at 6:30, there was, I've moved it to now, so it sounds more current. But there was a knock at my door, and I went down and answered it, and there was one of those born-again Christian evangelists there. He said to me, "Sir, the answer is Jesus. Now what is the question?" And I said to him, "Is the question, for which role was Robert Powell nominated for a BAFTA?" And he said, "No, it isn't that." I said, "Can I have another guess?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Is the question, complete the name of this popular early 1970s item of hippie footwear, the blank sandal?" And he said, "No, it isn't that." I said, "Can I have another guess?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Is the question, complete the name?" He said, "You're staying, I notice, with the complete the name format." I said, "That's right, you initiated this combat. I reserve the right to choose weapons." I said, "Is the question, complete the name of this influential but little known late 1980s Chicago rock band, the Blank Lizard?" And he said, "I'll warn you, if you're considering recounting this conversation as some kind of stand-up routine," he said, "I'll warn you that that reference, the Blank Lizard, that has a very specific demographic reach." He said, "And while it may get a small laugh in a studio full of London hipsters, there's very little chance," he said, "that the majority of the viewers at home will get that reference. And for them, certainly," he said, "a routine which has been building nicely will take something of a dive at that point." I said to him, "I'm not worried about that, because I think that if I refer to its failure, I may be able to milk some further laughs out of it." We've seen that happening, haven't we? You can probably at home, you can see it's happening mainly in that area. Over here, not so many laughs, but certainly the people over there. I don't know about you at home, but the people in this area very much enjoying the way I'm working the room at this point. The evangelist said to me, "I don't know if a primetime BBC 2 comedy slot is the time or the place to experiment with this level of self-indulgent improvisation." And now, of course, that line has created a tension in the room. It'd be quite hard to wrestle it back. The evangelist said, "I did try to warn you." I said, "What do you mean, you tried to warn me? Stop interrupting me. You are a semi-fictional character which I created." He said, "That's right, semi-fictional. I have a basis, in fact, 20 years ago." I said, "Yeah, but you didn't behave like this." He said, "No, I know, but my anger's been festering." I said, "Now what am I supposed to do? Look what you've done to me," I said to him. "This routine over 20 years, we've worked on it together, you and me. We've built it up with a whole set of call and responses, and you improvising within certain carefully delineated parameters. Now look at where we are. We're in a position there is no escape. To all intents and purposes, what's happening now does not constitute entertainment." I said, "Luckily, in the edit, at this point, I can cut to a film item." So I said to the evangelist, "Can I have another guess?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Is the question, complete complete the name of this influential but little known early 1980s Scottish post-punk band, the Blank and Mary Chain. And he said, I don't know, I've not heard of them. And I said, surely it's obvious what they're called by now. And he said to me, oh, you obviously think it's very clever to be sarcastic, don't you? And I said, no. And he said, you do, you were doing it then. And I said, no, I wasn't. You were. That went on for about 8 hours. You know what, right? None of that happened. I made it up. Well, it sort of happened. This guy came to my door 20 years ago, and he did say to me, the answer is Jesus. Now, what is the question? But I didn't say any of those things. I just went, oh, I don't know. I'm not interested, really. And I went back to bed. And then over the next 2 decades, I gradually thought of a number of amusing things that I could have said. If I was really funny in real life, rather than only within this contrived and flattering TV environment. So that's all it was, just a joke, just a piece of nothing. Good night.